Hey guys, I hope all is well with everyone. So, here we're going to be discussing on ways to connect with your tarot deck. Um, this video won't be long. It's it's a lot simpler than one would think. So, there's many ways you can do it. You can place it if you carry a handbag around with you. You can place your tarot deck in your handbag. You can put it in a pouch and then put it in your handbag or in a little zippy pouch. If you don't carry a handbag, then you can always put it in a pouch and then place it in your car, because then their aura is absorbing your aura and sensing and feeling what you're going through on your journey outside of the house. And they're able to start to understand you and how you communicate, how you understand things. And it's a way for them to pick up on how to communicate with you, along with you reading through them, and how your style of reading is. It's a way to connect and bond. You may also place it underneath your pillow as well. They can help you have dreams, which is pretty neat. There is actually a specific chant or spell for a card. I believe it was for the Judgment card. Excuse me. There's so many. Sit outside, out in the nature. If you enjoy hiking or just being out in nature, if you live out in the middle of nowhere or you just like to run away to middle of nowhere, take them with you and play with them out in the woods, out in your peaceful place, because that's a way for them to understand you. It's really a way for the cards to understand you. If you read other decks, place your decks around where you read your deck, because they're again absorbing your aura, and then they're also absorbing all the other decks' auras, and they're all also understanding how you like your style of reading is. You can also meditate with them. A way to meditate is you can, of course, hold them in your hands as you're meditating. You can do it like this as well, because you have chakras in the palm of your hands as well as the center of your feet as well. You can also place it at your root chakra while you're meditating, because as you're sitting there and you're focusing on your deck and connecting with them, some of you might very well start seeing things. I did that once with my first moonstone that I ever got. I sat in the kitchen because it was one of the places that I liked being in my apartment. It was at the time it was where I would do paintings. So it was a very relaxing spot for me. So I sat there and I just all of a sudden started seeing, like, it was a curtain. It was white curtains in a darker room, and I could see sunlight starting to shine through, and it was really beautiful. Almost made me feel like I was in the 70s, 60s era because of the just everything around. So there's that. You can do meditation with them. Go out on walks with them. If you're somebody who puts your emotions and just do a lot in the kitchen, keep them in the kitchen around you, and just dabble with them as you do what you do in the kitchen. I say that because I know there's some people that really like cooking. I like cooking. There's some people that really like baking. My mother loved baking. So there's all different types. Just think of your personality. What is it do you go out often? If you do, take them with you. If you're an introvert, then stay at home with them. But wherever you go, try to keep the deck with you. Um, and as you notice, if you step away from the deck and you go to another one, if you have another deck, or if you plan on getting another deck, and you go back to that other one, you might notice that you're actually able to oddly read these, like connect with these a lot better all of a sudden than this deck. But then you want to go back to this deck because you miss using this deck. So you go back to this one, and then you can surprisingly understand this one again. I say surprisingly because you'll feel like you had finally accomplished something, like another step, another chapter into tarot and into achieving what you want to through this journey. Another way to connect is the major arcana, the card that is your zodiac sign, your sun sign, your moon sign, rising. Hold them close to you. You can meditate with them, put them under your pillow, travel with them, keep them close to you. Then you are connecting with it even more, and you're also absorbing more of the element that you behold. Element as in wands is fire, swords is air, cups is water, and pentacles is earth. We'll get further into this later on. I was thinking about doing separate videos of like just an intro of like major arcana when we go into it, and then minor arcana when we go into it. So you can do like a little step-by-step thing. So you can even meditate on a way or ask, like for dreaming. I usually ask for things through dreaming so I can see things. It's really cool. It takes a while. You have practice and patience. I think it took me a while, but it was really cool through the process. Like, try different techniques. It's really, really neat. Before I go to bed, though, I'll constantly repeat the word dream in my head over and over and over and over again. And then I will have a dream. I had a dream on Christmas Eve. It was so bizarre. It was like my guides were walking through my house, and they were talking to me about the changes that I've made and what's coming up in my life and this and that. So what I'm saying is you can use those cards that have your element, your sign in it, when you place them under your pillow and you repeat dream in your head, or whatever your technique will be for your own self. Everybody has a different style, different technique. You very well might get a premonition, or maybe even an answer to a question that you've been wondering. I think that's almost all the ones I can think of offhand. I did have a viewer that had asked about explaining why I choose the decks that I choose through my videos. So, as you may notice, I use certain decks over and over again. So I really typically just go with whatever I just feel magnetic to, which at times is the modern witch deck, which one thing that I like about this is it's very traditional, but it's also modern at the same time. I like that. I can connect with that because I find myself diverse in that way. And the Light Seers deck is one of the other ones that I enjoy. I feel very connected to. I have a couple other ones that I have upstairs that I feel very connected to, but it's really, once you really get into the flow of it and you get more experience with whatever you work with. I work with my guides. I always point to my back and around me, my guides. To me, my opinion, my view, my belief is that God sent to me my guides. Now, if you want to do deities, gods and goddesses, which I have a very opinionated view on this. Again, opinionated. Big print, okay? So, you know how we have gods and goddesses. I know I'm going on a rant for an answer. I'm sorry. But it's a way to understand tarot. So, anyways, God, right? We have God, the Father, the highest power, okay? And then the gods and goddesses. I've looked in the encyclopedia. I really should have just grabbed that and brought it down here and showed you guys. But it looked as though it was gods and goddesses was a creation, like almost partial humanoid creations that were created, but they were like a mistake. But they're still in the universe. They're in the sky. They're stars. They're constellations. You know. So there's more to it, but I don't want to go further into it and just do a big rant of something that's my opinion. That's just based off of studies and something I don't 100% know. It's just my thunk and my theory. But anyways, my guides, they're further down that pyramid, but closer to me, because I'm further down that pyramid as well. So at times you'll see me go over here and like, no. It's because occasionally I'll hear this or or yeah, or yep, that one, or the double deck. Sometimes I'll just hear part of their names as well. For some people, for those who are very lucky, they can feel vibration, maybe like a type of pulse through their chakra when they rest their hands, like hover it over it. I should say not rest, I'm sorry, hover over a deck. Most likely whatever their dominant hand is. But again, everybody is different because I'm not quite 100% sure on how it is for those who are ambidextrous for you. So, because I'm slightly. So I hope that answered everything. I have been lately drawn more to my double deck, which I have the Rider-Waite deck and Archon deck. I love this. It's just, see, this was something else again that I felt very drawn to doing. Like I was very pushed to do this. And when I say pushed to do it, I would hear my guys be like, hey, did you ever think about putting two decks together? And then I'm like, is that possible? And they're like, well, honey, anything's possible, ain't it? You got a point. Let's give it a shot. So then I dabbled around, and these were the decks that I had that were the only ones that had fit perfect and that had worked perfect together. And I was like, oh, beautiful. Beautiful. I think it's great because the Archeon deck, I think that's one of the oldest decks that I have. And then I can't remember if I got that one or the Dreamers one, which one I got before the other. But the Rider-Waite, I got that one fairly recently. So that was really cool, and I started doing that when I started my channel. So that to me was also kind of, I took that as also a yes, right? You are on the right path. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't let anything, tear you down, and blah blah blah. So I took that as a good sign, because I did ask to show me a sign or give me a sign that I'm on the right path and I'm doing the right thing doing this. So talk to them. They hear you. Even if you don't talk out loud, if you talk in your head, absolutely. It's how, if you believe in God, that's how you would pray, right? At least to see, I don't like to bring religion to the table, or politics, but politics I don't pay attention to. I have a very short attention span, which I know is very unfortunate, but short attention spans, like playing video games for me, I can't sit there and do it for hours on end. I can't. Maybe one quest on Skyrim, that's it. But other than that, I think that's everything I have for you guys. Until next time, auf Wiedersehen. Bye bye.